Chag Sameach, Shalom from Jerusalem. Happy Jerusalem Day. Today is a day of profound spiritual significance for Israel and for the whole world. Our sages tell us that wherever we are in the world, we turn and face the land of Israel. In the land of Israel, we turn and face Jerusalem. And when we're standing in Jerusalem, we turn and face the Holy of Holies. Jerusalem is eternity. And from Jerusalem emanates the power of the Shekhinah, the divine presence for the whole world. 44 years ago, the forces of the IDF were victorious in restoring rights and morality and purpose to the world by liberating and unifying Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the capital of Israel, the eternal capital of the Jewish people that never was a capital for any other people in the world. And the whole concept of Jerusalem in the world is the foundation for holiness and the basis for everything that is right and good in the world. And therefore, Jerusalem Day is a day of such tremendous, profound spiritual meaning, not only for Israel, but for every person in the world who cherishes the Word of God and who cherishes the idea of humanity being created for the purpose of knowing who God is, because that knowledge flows from Jerusalem. All around us are the sounds of the city. Building is going on all around us. This is a fulfillment of all the prophecies in the Torah. The significance of Jerusalem Day this year is even greater than ever before, because once again there are the powers that be and voices that are attempting to drive a wedge between the Jewish people and Jerusalem, that are trying to undermine Jewish sovereignty and trying to raise doubts and questions as to whether or not the Jewish people really belong in Jerusalem. I'm reminded of the verse that we read in the first book of Kings, where God tells us regarding Jerusalem, the city that I have chosen for myself to place my name there. And this is something eternal. This is something for all time. God says, Lishmi. It is for my name. And whenever He says something is for my name's sake, it is forever. You know, President Obama is attempting to delegitimize Israeli presence in Jerusalem as well as other places. He's attempting to delegitimize our borders and to cast doubts and uncertainty as to the future of Israel in her own land. And, you know, the sages of Israel tell us in the time of the Holy Temple, when the pilgrims would come, the vast numbers of Olei Regel would come up to Jerusalem to celebrate the holidays in the Holy Temple, how no snake or scorpion would ever harm anyone that came to Jerusalem. And the sages tell us that no person ever said to another, Jerusalem is too crowded for me to find lodging. Even though the whole nation of Israel, millions upon millions of people came, accompanied by others as well who wanted to partake of the experience of the Holy Temple. They all came and they found a place to stay in Jerusalem, and no one ever said, it's too crowded for me here, I can't be here. What is the real meaning of this teaching that there's no record of snakes and scorpions having bitten anyone or caused any damage in Jerusalem? Jerusalem is under a divine layer of protection. And it's not just talking about snakes and scorpions, it's talking about the snakes and scorpions of our generation. We know all too well who are the snakes and scorpions today that are trying to bite us, who are trying to make us to be afraid to be in our own city, and who are trying to tell us it's too narrow in Jerusalem, there isn't enough room for all of us to stay. Our sages saw all of this prophetically when they talked about the experience of the Holy Temple, which is Jerusalem. And look at the cranes moving all around us, the sounds of building, the train. Jerusalem is being prepared for a vast influx of her children coming home. Today, the message of Jerusalem Day, 44 years after the unification of the Holy City, rings louder and clearer than ever before. The Jewish people are home. As the verse tells us in the book of Psalms, it is God that builds up Jerusalem. No man, no power, no snake, no scorpion can ever damage the eternal nature of Jerusalem. And we'll never say it's too crowded for us to find lodging. We'll never say that Jerusalem is too narrow. Jerusalem welcomes her children. Jerusalem opens her arms, and the message of Jerusalem Day that goes out from here today to all of Israel and to the whole world is a message of hope, a message of light, a message of inspiration, a message of peace and reconciliation, that God's promises really do come true. Jerusalem welcomes all those who are willing to take a stand for what's right and are willing to stand up for the honor of Jerusalem, which is the honor of Israel, which is the honor of the God of Israel. Chag Sameach, happy Jerusalem Day.